the only good thing about having to win a whole bunch of your final 7 games is this. You can't win more than one at a time. Good morning to you. Good Thursday morning from Washington. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports, and this is Daily Shot of Penguins. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or baseball, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Pirates in the same place that you found this. Penguins versus Capitals tonight, 7:08 p.m. face-off at Capital One Arena here in D.C. I'll be covering it for DK Pittsburgh Sports with a full column and, of course, another one of these podcasts first thing tomorrow. And they have to win this game. That's the beginning and the end of my analysis of the Penguins stretch run. Really. I mean, the Capitals are the team, mathematically, that you're chasing. They might not end up being that for one reason or another. Maybe the Flyers will fall back and you'll be looking at more of a battle for third place in the Metro than you will for the second wild card spot. But all of it has to involve beating the Capitals in this game. And from the Capitals' perspective, it's almost as big. The Capitals have not just the Penguins, but the Red Wings. They have several teams right in that pack, either chasing them or right in front of them. They can't afford to miss out on the 2 points. And taking that even further, these are those games where you don't want the other team to have even 1 point out of what's available. You need a regulation W. Either side needs a regulation W. It's essentially a one and done. It's the equivalent, really, if you think about it, of a Game 7 in the playoffs, except for the fact that you don't clinch anything by winning. It just gives you the right to go on. But I got to tell you, regardless of how it plays out, who ends up in the postseason and who doesn't, I love this. And there's a part of me that even loves that it's here, because of the whole possibility of the Penguins fans going across the street and doing their thing on the Portrait Gallery steps. But to have yet again, Sid and Gino versus Ovi. And I don't know, Ovi doesn't really have a second in command anymore. You used to be able to say Sid and Gino versus Ovi and, I don't know, Backstrom, I guess. Backstrom, of course, is out of hockey, unfortunately, now. John Carlson? I don't know. But anyway, sticking with the main guys, it's, Sid and Gino against Ovi. It's Penguins versus Capitals. It's the two teams that have always had to go through each other to win a cup. Look it up if you don't know what I mean. It's incredible. All 6 cups won between the two franchises. 5 with Pittsburgh, 1 with Washington. They had to go through the other team to get there. And in most of those cases, not all, but most, they were the toughest opponent that the other team had along the way. That's really cool. I don't know what's going to come out of tonight. I never know what to expect from this team. Did anybody listening to this program right now honestly believe that there was a snowball's chance in hell of a comeback, a third period comeback from 2 down in Newark the other night? Yeah? Come on, you're lying. You also expected them to beat the Rangers in the Garden the night before, I suppose, right? Come on. That's part of when this gets fun. Strange things happen. Teams get hot. Goaltenders get hot. Coaches have it decided for them that the goaltender isn't going to change from here on out. And I can promise you're going to see that. You are going to see Alex Nedeljkovic in net from now until this team is mathematically out. How about rookie surprises? How about Jack St. Ivany? Where did he come from? What was he doing in Wilkes-Barre all winter long? Did he really get that good that fast, or is he just off to some stunning start that might be even stunning him? He's been really, really good. Way beyond his years and infinitely beyond his experience level. But those things happen in these settings as well. Look, I don't want to take this too far because the next episode of this show could be all about how they're done. It's over. That's it. They had their chance, blew it last night. And all of this will sound as stupid as it already might be. But I happen to feel as if it's worth giving credit to these guys, to all of them, to the coaches, to the players, the people at ice level for making this happen. Sure, it's been largely the result of a mediocre middle of the conference, if you will. And sure, they could have made life a heck of a lot easier for themselves by at least being competent on the power play or on 3-on-3 overtime or on shootouts or in any other specialty situations. And they didn't. But they're here and they're still at it. And they're playing their single most meaningful game of the 2023-24 season tonight in April, which no one could have forecast even 9 days ago. When we come back, J1Q. Today's J1Q comes from Greg, who asks, oh man, wrap your mathematical head around this one. You ready? If the Penguins are tied with the Capitals, DK, with 3 minutes left in the game, should they pull their goalie even at 5-on-5? Is potentially denying the Capitals points and getting both enough of an incentive to roll the dice? Minnesota made a similar call in overtime last week. Yeah, I saw that situation. It actually worked for them, and the whole hockey world was buzzing over it and how the Wild took this massive risk and everything. I'm not feeling that in this environment. I do think that you'll see either head coach pull a goaltender earlier than maybe the norm, but I don't think that would be specific to the setting, meaning that it would be something that would be way, way, way crazy. If you get into advanced analytics on when to pull the goaltender and the value of having that extra attacker versus just trying to go at the other team with, your 5 skaters for an extra couple minutes, the numbers overwhelmingly favor pulling the goalie early. John Cooper, the Lightning, has done it, my goodness, with 9 minutes left in the game. He'll start yanking the goalies. I mean, he's nuts with it. But the numbers are with him. It's a lot like the conversation that's ongoing in football about fourth downs. When do you go for it on fourth downs? Well, almost no coaches do. They hate doing it unless it's a yard or maybe a yard and a half. But now you're starting to see teams just go without punting. That's what happened with the LA Chargers, not to turn this into a football discussion, but that's what Sean McVay was doing. He just said, we're not even going to use a punter really because the math says to do this. The math says to pull the goalie and to pull him early. And I'm sure that can feel really deflating. Say, for example, for the Devils the other night in Newark, because they did pull their goalie early. Trent Green did, interim coach in New Jersey, and the Penguins scored like right away. And then you're toast right away. And you feel kind of dumb when it happens, I'm sure. But this one, there's still 6 games left for both teams. And I'm going to guess that both coaching staffs will discuss it, but I don't think you're going to see anything where you go, whoa, can't believe they're doing that, especially in Washington's case, because they're still in a driver's seat position on the standings. They don't need to be getting crazy, much less stupid. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Penguins, and we will do another one of these tomorrow. Do or die.